Hi everyone, Agnes here, and today I've got a lovely viewer's question from Gloria M. Now, Gloria says, you never made a video about how you learned about giving love, not taking, and other important crucial things that people aren't your source of love. That knowledge gives enormous relief and general relaxation about everything in life. Well, that's a really good question, Gloria. You made me really think when you wrote this, and this was back in the 5th of December 2020. So, how did I learn about giving love? Well, I think being in relationships that would end up the same no matter how many years, and starting to really look at the whole thing about love in relationships, because we talk about, so often unconditional love, and, that relationships are about give and take and about communication, about understanding and all these things. But it's like, what does that really mean? It's if you are trying to always get your point across, it really gets tiring for the other person. So that whole thing about seeking to understand rather than to be understood, that got me thinking, because it's the same principle. If you're trying to get love, why not stand in the other position and learn to see what giving love was like? Now, in my case, I would give love, yes, technically on the surface, but it was driven by, I want you to stay here with me and don't abandon me, because I had abandonment issues. So when you come from that place of giving, but you're still giving from the wrong place, you can't not know it on a level. You're driven by fear. So I had to come to terms with that my giving love from the place of fear was not really giving in an earnest way. So I think when you've had a few relationships, and I had a few that really kept teaching me the same lesson, which is giving, but is it really in your case? And in my case, it was giving because I didn't want someone to leave me. Yes, I was giving partly because I loved, but there was also a heck of a lot of fear of being left, fear of abandonment, fear of loss, and that would cause overgiving. And it would also mean that there was this thing always kind of there in relationship about, am I good enough? And that's where I learned it, Gloria. It was really, dealing with being too demanding in your energy, expectation, but then not feeling worthy to receive. And yeah, that whole thing of learning people aren't your source of love was a big one. And it's still something that needs to be remembered, that people aren't. My partner that I'm with today says to me, and he said it to me years ago when I was really still, not doing this very well. He'd say, look, I wasn't just put on the planet to meet your needs. And as hard as that was to hear, and a bit of a slap in the face at the time, he was right. It's like he didn't want to have to look after a child. He already, had one. So it was like really getting to the point where you hear this stuff and you go, wow, if someone's actually giving me that feedback, not cool. Not cool. And now, overgiving. I see a lot of people overgive to compensate, which was what I was doing. I was either selfishly focused too much on me or overgiving. And it's finding that nice sweet spot in the middle, My partner would say to me, hey, cool your skin. He still says it to me today sometimes. Cool your skin. It's like tone it down. Calm yourself. And he would say to me, you're not at peace, you're not at peace. And it's like, I wasn't. And sometimes still today I'm not. But it gets better, it gets easier. And in time you become as you do more self-love, it starts to, you marinate in it, you fertilize yourself with it, and instead of marinating and fertilizing yourself with, how can I get, and what strategy can I use, and what YouTube can I listen to get me another technique so that I can, there's the next bright shiny object, how can I suck love out of somebody? And we all know there's a lot of that stuff around, and I'm not just talking about on YouTube. People write books about it. People have friends that tell you that. People go to, all sorts of different things, whether it's therapy or counseling or whoever. And sometimes you find someone that's excellent at helping you help yourself, but there is still a lot of get, take, make, them stuff. And, I didn't want to be that person that was so driven like that. And I loved being around relationships that were peaceful, where two people were adults. It wasn't like two codependent people or one person leaning or trying to get love from another person. That there was a maturity when you see certain couples. And, in my lifetime, there hasn't been a lot of good examples of that. But as you ask for, Source, please show me people that have good relationships and that are still living it, and that are really those that are giving me the real help, the grassroots help. Are they themselves living in those relationships today? They're not talking about manifesting a relationship from, past experiences. They're sharing their, what's happening here and now, real time, and therefore they get it. They feel it, they live it, but they also understand where you're coming from. So, Gloria, very good question. And, thank you for the other bits of your email as well, and for your YouTube recommendations from Joseph Rodriguez. I will put a couple of his YouTubes down below because I have seen a few of his. I haven't seen him for a while, but you bringing this up in this email has made me revisit. I do like his delivery and his explanations, and it's lovely to always find somebody else that does, whether it's Neville or Florence or anything else, whoever else, in a really good way. So, a lovely question. I will put the viewers' questions playlist down below because there's been many questions over the years from a lot of you, and those of you that are new can go back and re-look at this stuff because this might be new information for you if you are new to the channel. So lots of love, and I will see you as always here on YouTube.